This is the Fifine K690, a USB-based microphone potentially for your Zoom calls, a podcast, or a voiceover. Now you're currently listening to the raw audio recorded with this microphone in Final Cut Pro without any audio processing. If this is what you came for, you've got it, and I shall now dive into the details of the Fifine K690. So right now, I'm on my Rode Wireless Go, and this is the audio that you're hearing from my Rode Wireless Go. I've got everything over here to set up the Fifine K690 onto my MacBook Pro. Now, the mic comes with a USB Type-A cable to a micro USB port that's plugged in into the mic itself. It's 2021, this is USB Type-A, my MacBook Pro is using a Type-C, which means it's a dongle live to connect these things together. Well, the thing about USB mics is that you plug in and then it just simply works. So let's hook this up, plug into the USB-A like a caveman, and I've got a green light on the microphone, which is great. Let me power up my laptop and then I'll get to you with the sound. Okay, so the way it is set up right now is that my camera is like about a good 5 meters away from where I'm seated. And the audio source is coming from my Rode Wireless Go right now. And in order for me to showcase the Fifine K90, I need to open up a DAW and record it from there, which means I need to launch my Audacity and start recording the audio on the Fifine K90. But let me just set things up a little bit more better. There you go. All right, the DAW is launched. Make sure it's stereo recording, and I'll start recording. And right now, the audio is being recorded into my Mac, and this is how the Fifine sounds like now. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Afterwork Gear Review. Thank you for watching. Now, this microphone was sent to me for this review, and there's no money exchange in producing this video. So all the opinions and everything that you hear is my opinion, and I do not need to get approval for this video to go up. So right now, I've set the input gain to 0 at the knob behind here, and I've got to be speaking relatively close to the microphone, and that's how I think I sound the best this way. The closer I am to the microphone, the better audio quality that I get out of it. And having the gain set to 0, I can eliminate my surrounding noise, the room tone, and the buzz that's happening around the building that I have. And let me just increase the gain as I will be stepping back a little bit more, so then the gain will compensate me being a little bit far away from the microphone, and you should be able to hear a pretty good audio as well. Is there any difference? Can you hear more room tone noise with this setup? And perhaps if I were to just move a little bit back, and this is perhaps maybe how normal people would usually speak into the microphone if they were to be on a Skype call, a Zoom call, whichever tool you want to be using. Now there's a 3.5mm jack that I can plug to monitor the audio of the microphone in real time without any lag. So let me just plug in my cable so that I can monitor and hear myself. Give me a sec. Alright, so, and there is a headphone knob to adjust the volume on the headphone set over here to hear myself. I probably need to calibrate the volume that goes out into my headphones with what is recording with my Audacity over here. Peter Piper picked a pack of Peter Peppers. She sells seashells by the seashores. How does the Plosive and the Esses sounds like over this microphone? I'm actually speaking quite near to the microphone with the gain, which is like let me touch. Oh, I can't feel the gain behind, except that if I were to just look at it, it's about 11 o'clock on the gain volume over here. So I hope I'm not peaking. Yeah, if this is a little bit too close and that's peaking. Let me just bring it down to somewhere. Let me just bring it down to somewhere around 9 9 o'clock on the gain knob. Here we go again. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. She sells seashells by the seashores. How are the plosive and how are the Esses with this microphone? I'm a little bit closer to the microphone right now, and you should be hearing if that's a lot of plosive or Esses. Moving on from this review, I'll be post-processing the sound of this microphone to how I like myself sounding off these microphones. So 3, 2, 1, this is how I sound like. There is a mute button on the microphone. Of course, if you're in a Zoom call, you can be speaking, and when you're done speaking, you can mute yourself. And when you mute yourself, you do not need to reach down to your computer or your mouse to click on the mute button on the Zoom call, which is a little bit convenient, I reckon. That's metal built. So inside this netting, this metal enclosing, are 3 capsules that captures the voice, the audio source. These 3 capsules enable the microphone to function differently, giving us a different polar pattern to utilize the microphone in different ways. So the microphone is resting on its base right now. I'm just going to remove it from the base so that I can turn it around to show you the polar pattern settings that's on the microphone. So I've detached the base from the microphone and I'm still on the Cardioid Polar Patern. And this is how I sound like. Again, cardioid means that the front of the microphone is hypersensitive. That's where the audio is capturing. And if I were to just go around it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now notice the voice rejection that's happening that's around the microphone, because again, the sensitive area is the front of the microphone. Now this is great to eliminate like background noise, hums that's in the studio or wherever you're recording, and this is great for voiceover and solo podcasting. But what if you have a guest for your podcast and you want to be having your microphone in front here and your guest sitting opposite you? Let's change this to stereo. So right now you're hearing me in the stereo mode of the Fifine K690, and this is how I sound like in front of a microphone, and this is how I sound like at the back of the microphone. Let me just do a rotation for you to compare. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I would think that you might want to be increasing the gain on the microphone if you want to be putting the microphone right in the center where your guest can be speaking in front and I can be speaking at the back. But what if you got more than 2 guests, maybe a round table, a small round table perhaps? I would increase the gain on the microphone and activate the omnidirectional polar pattern on the microphone itself, so that then if I were to put the microphone in the center of the table and have everyone speaking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, you can hear that around 360 degrees of the microphone is picking up the audio signal fairly good. If your guest were to speak like next to you, you can turn on the bidirectional mode, because the capsule over here is sensitive and the capsule over here is sensitive. But if I were to turn the microphone behind, you can hear there's rejection. On the side, there's rejection. So make sure your guest is on your left. They also come with a adapter over here that allows me to attach this to a normal mic boom arm, and that's what I'm going to do. So give me a second. I'm just going to attach the mic on the boom arm and come back. I like to mount my microphones on boom arms like this, and especially this one that didn't come with a shock absorber on the base tabletop setting. I like it this way. It looks pretty alright as well, and I'm speaking quite near to the microphone capsule, which that's how I'll possibly doing a lot of voice over recording with this mic. Let me just check out how much is the Fifine microphone selling in Shopee or Lazada. Alright, it's turning up for me about RM 360 ringgit on Shopee, in a local store in Selangor. So yeah, so for the price that you're paying, 360 ringgit, you will definitely able to up your Zoom and your meetings. You can do voiceover with this, and if you were to just want to start a podcast, this is possibly a very good microphone to start off, to hear yourself, to without any complications. You just plug in, record it, and you're able to create your podcast. And it's also quite a full feature microphone if you want to be recording more than one person using this microphone. You have the bidirectional and the stereo polar pattern that's available on the microphone. You just need to turn up the gain, and hopefully if you have a quieter environment than my studio, you should be getting even better results turning on the gain a little bit more. So if you've been around the internet and searching for a USB microphone like this, you probably also come across the Blue Yeti, which is the OG of this kind of microphone. It has all the same polar patterns, the gain knob and the mute button and the volume knob over here, which is very, very similar, if not the same. How does the Blue Yeti sound like when compared with the K690? Do stay tuned for my next video, as I'll be reviewing a couple of USB mics. This is one of the first, and I've got one more that's coming up, and I'll do a comparison between all these mics in my next videos. Well, thank you for watching another episode of Afterwork Gear Review. Now, if you've learned something from this video, do consider buying me a cup of coffee, or otherwise just like the video. It will definitely help the channel tremendously. If you're new to the channel, do subscribe, because I will be sharing a lot of photography related videos, or any videos that's relating to like how I built this YouTube channel, like microphone review like this. And I'll see you guys on the next video.